Hello, my name is Vicki Brooke, and I'm here today to talk about families promoting success in long-term supports. I'm representing the sub-minimum wage to competitive integrated employment known as the Switchy Illinois project. So let's begin talking about how families can support success uh, for their family member in providing long-term supports in competitive integrated employment. So let's talk about where does long-term supports fit in the supported employment model of providing services in competitive integrated employment. Well, it begins after your family member is stabilized on the job. So maybe the employment specialist has supported your family member in getting a job, and maybe they've gone on the job with them, maybe full time. Maybe they just start with the beginning of the shift and maybe at the end of the shift. But they have provided support to the individual until the new employee is comfortable on the job site, the employer is comfortable with their work production and quality, and the employment specialist is comfortable with it and can really see the individual has quote unquote stabilized on the job. So now the employment specialist has faded from the job site, but they're going to continue to provide this support throughout the individual's tenure of employment. So they'll continue to have an employment specialist providing support to them. And at a minimum, they're going to provide at least 2 contacts per month to your family member, checking in both with them and with the employer, perhaps some coworkers, to see how things are going, to see if anything's changed within the work environment, to see if new job duties have been added. So they will continually assess both the individual satisfaction with work, they'll continually assess their stability within that work environment. They'll check in with the employer, as I said, and they'll continue to see that when they faded from the job site, the individual is still comfortable within that work environment. So that's what they're going to do. And what can you, as family members, do to support that stability on the job site? We really can talk about just building strong communication. So during initial employment, you were probably in communication fairly frequently if the individual has never had a job before. The employment specialist probably provided a lot of support, letting you know what was going on at the job site. So you want to continue to communicate as family members with the employment specialist. You want to know what are they thinking about the job? What has changed? What's new? What can you do to support what's going on in the work environment? Be clear that you understand that your family member, the new employee, is really leading the employment team. So you're there to support your family member in keeping their job. Um, that's what the employment specialist job is also. So you want to ask, how can you support them? One thing that has probably drastically changed if your son or daughter were in a sheltered workshop or an adult day activity center, they could come and go from that center pretty much at will. If there was a doctor's appointment, they you could just come and take them out of the centers, whatever that activity was. Maybe letting people know that day, maybe just coming to pick them up. Maybe they had a dental appointment. Maybe you suddenly decide to go on a family holiday. And you're not really concerned about interfering with the adult activity centers, what they're doing that day. Well, employment changes all of that. Just like any of us, we have to communicate with our supervisor when we want a day off, and we try to make it as far in advance as possible. And we're really asking for that time off and making sure that it doesn't conflict with the work routine. And if possible, we try to make our dental appointments, our doctor's appointments. For me, I was always scheduling my hair appointments after work. So thinking about all that and how your family has to kind of look at this differently than you have in the past. because their job is important and they can't just come and go from a work environment like they probably could from the adult activity center. So once you really start building that communication and you have some really good dialogue with the employment specialist, how do you strengthen the support team? Maybe up to this point, it's really been mom and dad care, supporting the individual, maybe a brother or sister. But we want to look now at how to really strengthen the support team and identify other family members who might be interested in providing support. Maybe it's a brother and sister, maybe it's an aunt and uncle, maybe it's a cousin, and you've just really never reached out to them. But now is the time. Reach out to those family members and ask them if they'd be interested in providing support. Maybe somebody is really good in personal budgets. Maybe they can provide support for your family member in budgeting for their paycheck, or just whatever comes up on the work environment. So the employment specialist and your son or daughter can have other people providing support to them. Are there church members? Are there neighbors? Are there community members? These are all individuals that may be very interested, and you've just never really asked them if they would like to support your family member. So the ultimate goal is to build a strong and diverse team that will support the voice of your son or daughter. So it's not like these new individuals who are part of this new support team that are going to be driving this train. It's your family member who's driving this train. They are the employee, and the employment specialist, as well as this other team, are going to be there to support what comes up on the job site. And lots of things can come up on the job site. Maybe the individual's been living at home and will, now that they have a job, will be thinking about moving out to an apartment. It would be great to have other people who would be interested in supporting them. So either you want to reach out to them, or you talk to your family member and they reach out to them, to the families or church members. Have a discussion about that. But that could greatly strengthen the individual who may have really kind of diverse needs now that employment is present in their life. A third step is really, now that you have maybe a strong support team that is fairly diverse, maybe an aunt or uncle is involved, a couple cousins are involved, a gentleman from church seemed very interested, and they now go out with your son a couple times a month, able to spend his paycheck on going to a ball game or something of interest to them. So their support team has kind of really gotten stronger. Now is to build a stronger community. So you can mobilize those family members or community members who have similar interests in employment. They can be advocates for the individual, not just your family member, but a larger community of individuals with disabilities who are also looking to advance in competitive integrated employment. Think how you can network these community members, how they could be in touch with other community members. Everybody may have businesses that are different and may be of interest to reach out to other business members who could be educated about the benefits of employment for people with disabilities. So if these individuals have jobs, they could all talk to their employers about the benefits of employment of people with disabilities. Then you start building these sort of success stories. You could host a community event for other family members. Maybe family members who might be interested in competitive integrated employment, but are really concerned about it. As an individual who's had success, as your son or daughter who's had success, they could talk to other community members at an event. So you've brought together all these like-minded people who are interested in advocating for employment for people with disabilities. You could have the employment specialists join you in this community, and you could do presentations together with them. So really, in summary, in order for families to promote success, you stay involved. It doesn't end once the individual gets the job, but you want to stay involved with their success. Build communication with just your support team. Make sure it's a strong support team. Make sure you're all on the same page. You know what the rules are at the job site, and everyone follows them. Expand that team so your family member has a diverse group of people who are interested in supporting their success. And then once you have this strong team, you can start building and reaching out and building stronger communities of people who are interested in promoting competitive integrated employment for individuals with disabilities. With that, I say thank you. I enjoyed talking with you today.